So glorious lovers, let's start this tutorial. This is a request from one of us. I only want to demonstrate the design on it. Now the materials that will be needed are my matching thread and hand needle, measuring tape, scissors, my wording, so and the Ankara fabric I want to use to demonstrate it. So now for this my Ankara fabric, I have the measurement here, 25 inches by 3 inches, 3 inches for the width and 25 inches for the length in 4 places. You can make it 5, you can make it 6. So for my wording, the wording is 23 inches for the length, 23 inches for the length. So now in 4 places too. So now the first thing I want to do now is to take this my 3 inches, I'll with the wrong side facing me, I'll close it up and sew it down. I'll close it like this and sew from this end down to this end and turn it out. So when I'm done with that, I'll come back to show us. So I'm done sewing it and I turn it out. So now the next thing to do now is to take my wording and fix my wording inside. So the way I will fix it inside, I will make sure the wording is facing like this on it. So the wording will be flat, and making sure that this sewn part is in the middle. So that is how I'm going to fix my wording into it. So I'll fix my wording into it and come back to show us what I've done. So as you can see, I'm done fixing my wording into it, making sure that the sewn place is at the center. So now the next thing to do now is to put them on top of one another and tack them together. So I'll take my needle and thread now and tack them together. So this is how I'm going to tack. If I tack it inside like this, if I take it inside like this, I'll come out a little from this, because this is where it's going, this is the place that is going to show outside. So I'll just come out a little. I will not let it be too much. So I will slant my hand. I will slant to this side. So you continue tacking at this place. At the down here, you make sure your hand go far a little, but at the top you just pick a little. So that is how you tack. And when you are tacking, don't drag it, don't let it be too tight. So I'll just take a little from up here and slant. So I'm done tacking them together, so you can see. So I've already tacked them together. So now the next thing now is I will first of all take my mannequin with the cap. This is the cap I want to use for it. So the exact cap that is in that picture, I've made a video on how to achieve that. But because this is just a tutorial on how to demonstrate just the design on it, so that's why I'm not going to sew any other thing. So I'm going to put the cap on the mannequin like this. Then you put the cap on the mannequin like this and check, so that you know where to cut from. So according to the picture that is on it, the pleat is get to almost the back of the cap, but not to the back. So I'm going to stop it here and take my scissors and cut off 3 out of it. So I'll cut off 3 out of it like that. Then this remaining one, I'll just fold it like this and sew it down. So I'm done sewing it down. So I've secured that place. Now it's remaining this other side. So this other side too, we'll make sure is equal very well. So you place it on the mannequin. And let it get to the back of the cap. So once it's like this, it's okay. So on this side too, I'll just cut off a little here. So and fold this place into and sew it down. So I've done that, you can see. So you can make it as high as you want. You can make it higher than this. But when I counted the one in the picture, it's just 4. So that's why I made 4 like this. So now you take your turban cap that is already fitted on the mannequin. So you put your pleats on it, starting from immediately after the back of the hair. So you pin it down, making sure that this place gets to the back. So you pin it down. So you can see I'm done pinning it down. So I'll take my needle and thread and tack it down to my turban cap. So as you can see, I'm done tacking it down on it, and take this my next fabric, which is 50 inches by 6 inches. So I'll fold it into 2 like this and sew from this end down to this end and turn it out. So when I'm done with that, I'll come back to show us. So glorious lovers, I'm done sewing it and I turn it out. This is our 50 inches by 6 inches. So now the next thing I'll do now is to take my crinoline. The crinoline is 3 inches for the width. So, and the length is the length of my fabric, which is 50 inches. So I'll fix in my crinoline into my fabric now. So as you can see, I'm done fixing my crinoline neatly into my fabric. So now I want to show you something. So when you have fixed it, this place will tend to come to the middle. So shift it to the side. So I've done that. So the sewn part is at the edge. So the other edge is okay. So now the next thing I want to do now is to fold in my edge. This is my frayed edge. Fold it in 2 times and take it to my sewing machine with the crinoline inside. So I will sew it down. So I will come to this other end too and do the same thing. So glorious lovers, I'm done securing the edges of my crinoline design. So now the next thing is to take my needle and thread and make a running stitch from one end of my fabric to the other end, starting from the tip of the fabric. So glorious lovers, I'm done making my running stitch. So this is how it's going to look like. So now the next thing now is to take this one that I've made with crinoline design inside. So place it from the middle. See my mannequin from the middle like this. I will not put it directly on the middle. I will shift it a little away from the middle of the head, and so I start manipulating it, and first of all use my pin to pin it down before I start tacking. The design is almost like the design the first tutorial I made in the group. So just manipulate it like that and pin it down. I do not want to use too much fabric on it. That's why I did not allow this my Ankara fabric to be longer than this. Instead of this 50, you can make it 60, you can make it 70 for it to be very long. That is the fabric you want to use for it, because it has to get to the end of this place. So I'll just pin this place down now and continue to adjust it. So this is just the concept of the design. So I'll just take it now and take my needle and thread. As I have tack it, I'll just take my needle and thread and tack it down, and make sure I tack it down from this end down to where I started here. As I'm tacking, I'm still manipulating it to get my desired result the way I want it. Like I said, this crinoline design on it, you can make it up to 70 inches, so as to be able to be full if you want it to be very full. But for the course of this tutorial, I don't want to use too much fabric, because I don't have anything to do with it. Even if I finish now, I'll just go and scatter it, because I don't need it. It's just to demonstrate how to make the design, how to make the design on it. So that is why I made this video. So as you can see, I'm done tacking it down on my plates. So this side now that the thread is showing, you can just take something, any of those our trimmings or something, just cut it and use your glue gun to cover these places up. So I'll fit it on the mannequin. So glorious lovers, this is the finished look of the design. You can see. So if you want it to be more full, you can add to your measurements.